guys, Jonathan Sipple here. In today's video, I'm actually talking about a new project that I'm working on called Thumbnail Grail. As you know, Sip's Photo Tips is kind of unique for an educational channel. It's to the point, and you try to have a little bit of fun along the way and hopefully come out the other side learning something new. I also try to make sure that my videos are family friendly, but my new content, no, I'm just kidding, my new content's also family friendly. But I'm realizing that I have a calling for thumbnail content because there's all these YouTubers who are hopping onto the platform, they're making these killer videos, and then they're like, how do I make a thumbnail? They need a leader like me to show them how to cut the cuts and paste the pastes. Moving on! A couple weeks ago, superstar YouTuber Airrack released a video called I Opened a Free Store, but there's alligators. As you've probably guessed, the video is about having rewards inside of a store, but there's all these different obstacles that they have to face, like a live alligator on the floor. What I like is that Airrack has a big expression and he's staring right at the camera. And he's in a dangerous situation. Like the alligator, it's just kind of a dull picture of it. Its colors kind of blend in with the background. I don't know, there's just not a ton of separation and it just doesn't really speak to me. And in the actual video, he never put his head close to an alligator. I don't even believe that is the alligator from the video. So the purpose of the thumbnail in Airrack's videos is to bring the viewer in, give them a glimpse of what's to come, and make the image stand out a little bit, glamorize it, make it pop. I don't know about you guys, but I have this vision of like these humanoid alligators, and they're wearing these aprons, and they work at the store, and there's this like this crazy tension between the alligators and Airrack. You know, why don't we just go ahead and make this image? Our next step is to select the images that we're going to use from a stock photography website. I like to use Envato Elements. I've actually gone ahead and selected a few pictures that we can use in our thumbnail. Now that we have our pictures downloaded, we have to go into Photoshop and create a new document that's at least 1280 by 720. I like to go a little bit higher than that, so I actually make a document that's 2560 by 1440. That's twice the size of a thumbnail, but it gives us some extra space to work with. Now that I've smacked those stock photos into that canvas, I'm ready to start photoshopping. Now, if you take a look at this woman here, what do you see that doesn't look right? Do you see it? Yeah, that's right, she has arms. We gotta remove those. I'm sorry, girl, but those arms, they gotta go. So in order to do that deed, I selected the clone stamp tool. You can click up here, or you can press S on the keyboard, and now you just select the area with the Alt or Option key that you'd like to sample from on her apron, and then paint over. I'm just taking her arm away in little chunks. That's what they called me in freshman year. Now we can make a selection around what's left of her arms. Now hit Shift and Backspace if you're on a Windows, or Shift and Delete if you're on a Mac. This is the Content Aware Fill tool. Hit OK. It will fill in the center with what surrounds it. Now we're just gonna touch things up with the patch tool, and we're gonna do that by pressing J or Shift J to cycle through to it. This tool is similar to Content Aware Delete. You select what you want to be filled, then you click in the center and you drag it to where you want to sample from. Alright, as you can see, our alligator has successfully had her arms removed and her apron's all cleaned up. And, huh? You think that's morbid? No, you don't know? Alligators can regrow their limbs. Seriously, Google it. That actually leads us to our next step, where a reptilian cashier gains her limbs back. I already cut this first one out, so all we gotta do is line it up with her shirt. This one's looking good and connected. It might not be looking quite healthy yet, but that's okay because that's for our next step. First, we have to get her other arm on, so I'm gonna head over to this other image, cut it out, and bring it over to the main image. Connect that other arm, and we're good. And now, to unleash my secret weapon, Puppet Warp. This tool allows us to add joints along a layer and then move them as if they were a real-life limb. Now we need to add shadow by selecting the Burn tool with the O key, or Shift+O to cycle to it. Since her apron is so bright, select highlights at the top and make sure that Protect Tones is unchecked. Now paint over her apron under where her gator arms are. This will make it look more believable that she really does have gator arms, which, of course she does. Perfect. Now what stands out that needs changing? That's right. Let's just get rid of this by using the same techniques that we used earlier. That should be good. Now for the star of our show. Bring in the gator head. Since the head is on white, it's easy to remove it from the background. I just use the magic wand tool to make the selection and then erase the white. Now place it over the torso and erase along the shirt to make it look like a realistic alligator humanoid. You know, like your neighbor. Perfect! So from here I made a few more tweaks to the torso and added a little bit of space to the right side of the picture because we're going to add something in there later. But the real issue that I'm seeing is that while the alligator's coming together, he's not standing out from the background. So to separate our foreground elements from our background elements, I'm just going to make a selection around our foreground, duplicate the layer, then select the back layer and darken it. So we're just going to select the burn tool again. Make sure you have your range set to shadows and have protect tones unchecked. Now we're just going to make our brush really big and really soft, and we're just going to paint back and forth on the background here. Alright, our gator is popping from the background now. There's clear separation, so let's figure out how we're going to show that the items are free. Maybe we can head back to Envato Elements and find ourselves a price display. Alright, I'm liking how this one's looking. All we really need is the price display, so I'm just going to cut it from the background and remove the glare from the screen. Now we can write the word free in bright green text and it'll pop out nicely. Next we're going to need a plastic bag. It's easier to just get a stock photo. Back to Envato Elements. This should work. I just need to warp the arms a bit more to make it look like our gator is actually holding on to the bag full of goodies. So right now I'm using the dodge and the burn tools to make it look like the alligator is being lit by the same light source as the rest of our scene. I'm dodging on the top to make it look a little bit lighter, and burning on the bottom to make it look a little bit darker. Just like in this scene, the light's coming from this side, so the light on this side of the face is naturally darker. If I was a separate image being brought into this scene with a different kind of lighting, I'd want to burn this side of my face. No, not burn like that. And then I dodge this side of my face to match the rest of the scene. I'm also tweaking the brightness and the levels as needed. Let's just add a little bit of color to the plastic bag. Select that layer and hit Ctrl or Command+U. That brings up the hue saturation dialog box. Click the checkbox beside colorize. Bring the lightness down just a touch, and then play around with the hue and saturation, and this will let you change it to any color of the rainbow. And finally, we're adding our last main element, Professor Decker, the mafia leader himself, Airrack. But, hold the phone. I don't have any photos of him. I think we're gonna have to go rogue and watch some of his videos and find a screen cap that we can use. Head into the Airrack YouTube channel. Let's watch this one. Whoa! Wait. Right there. I can't believe how easy that was. Now we just have to screen capture him, bring him into Photoshop, and cut him out from the background, just like the other elements. Alright, yeah, this is looking good. Okay, so now we're going to take the layer that Airrack's on and put him underneath the layer of the checkout and the price display. This will make it look like he's walking through the checkout. Okay, now it looks like he's actually in there, but the lighting doesn't look quite right, and that's because we took Airrack from a scene that's totally different than our alligator scene. In most cases, if you're making thumbnails for yourself, I'd strongly suggest that you try to take as many pictures in the proper kind of lighting because it's so hard to fake lighting, but that's what we're stuck with since I don't actually have Airrack here in the studio to shoot with me. So we're just going to be doing some dodging and burning and doing everything we can to make Airrack's lighting look consistent with the rest of the scene, just like we did with the alligator. Alright, I think we're done. Oh, wait a second. No. The bottom corner? It's too white. There's too much white space. It just doesn't match the rest of the scene. So let's fill that in by adding a little shopping cart to fill in that space. Maybe we could even make it a bit of a leading line to keep the eyes in the center of the image. So let's head back to Envato Elements where I get all of my stock photography. If you'd like to as well, I've got an affiliate link in the description that you can sign up through and give me a little bit of kickback if you want to support the channel. Alright, so we'll just put this here. Alright, all we've got is a couple little final touches left. Let's just change the shopping cart handle from blue to red so it stands out a little bit better. If you'd like a tutorial on how to change color in Photoshop easily, just click up here. Alright, this is our new and improved I made a free store but there's alligators thumbnail. I hope you like it, Airrack.